Hey guys, welcome back to Eversoul. In today's video, I want to talk about saving gems and the pickle it can get you into because I hit it myself. Also give you an account update. We're on day 9 of this account. We're in chapter 12, doing all right. I'll show you a couple stages, show you the teams I'm using and stuff like that, just for a bit of an account update. But the thing is with gems, with saving them, now it's a bit of an iffy one. It's completely up to you if you want to do it. I've decided to save gems. I'm actually thinking about on this account now summoning on the new undead chick when she comes. I just think she's gonna be good. But the thing about saving is it puts you into a pickle where you might not have the food or the epic heroes that you need to push past limit breaks. So to get into my whole team being 121 and beyond, I needed to get my 5 legendaries, and I ended up using gems for 3 temples just to get the fodder I needed, because over here in the undead I've had just undeads don't come to me, not even fodder. So I had to get my Karen up to legendary. So I summoned to get that. Now, the next wall I could come to is that when we look at my units, my Ira and Catherine, I only have 1 extra copy of. So I need 1 more copy of these 2 to be able to beef them up. Now, I could have done my Lindsay up to legendary and then legendary plus as well, because I do have the copies. But I wanted to do Catherine because I'm just hoping, if not, I can buy Catherine from one of the stores, because Catherine is one that's very, very meta in the later game, and because I have that fallback option of getting her from the shop, that's the reason I went for her. Now, I also did Ira just because she was the only beast that I had 3 copies of. Now, like I said, beasts, I probably should have waited longer and done a fodder unit as well, but once again I didn't have the food for them, and I really wanted to get to that 121, and this is where patience is a virtue in these games. Being impatient can really actually hurt you because it speeds you up in the short term, slows you down in the long term. So I really need to pull an Ira copy. I can't get her from the shop or anything else, so I'm gonna have to depend on RNG for that. But with the other banner coming in a few days, hopefully we can alleviate that issue that we have. Now, the other thing when we talk about saving for the banners is if you are saving for the banners, I definitely think it's worth saving to go all the way, just because along the way we do get this 30 food tickets as well, which is absolutely huge for getting a bunch of extra fodder in there. So you know, that is something definitely to consider, that getting all that extra food really does help. You don't want to stop at 200. If you can go to 250 and get that high value 30 rare heroes, because that's really going to help you with ascensions in that situation. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Yes, you do hit roadblocks. Yes, you can just spend some quickly to get through those roadblocks, but eventually you will hit that, especially when you're saving gems. So, you know, just nothing. I'm not saying you have to do anything anyway. I'm just letting you guys know that that does happen. That's what hit me. Now, as for my account, we did get the Naya up to legendary plus. I had 3 copies of her. I picked 1 up from the event shop. Chloe, I've got 1 extra copy at the moment, so I'll get 1 more from her, either from the daily quest event, or I'll buy 1 from the shop in the event, and that will get her to legendary plus as well. So we're doing pretty solid in the fairy camp. We also have like 5 copies of Miriam, which is doing all right, and we ended up getting another copy of Nicole and Vivian through some of the summons that we've gotten along the way. We've also got our 3 Talias that we got early on the account. So our fairy is looking pretty solid. So let's jump over into campaign. I'll show you where we're at. We're in 12-6. Now, I haven't used any mercenaries today, so hopefully I can do a good push through chapter 12 today. But this is the kind of thing, when people ask me what kind of team am I using, as you can see on these in-between stages, we're pretty much perfectly at a 1.5x deficit, and then when we get into the every 5th boss stage, we're probably around 1.7 to 1.8 times deficit. So that's where we're pushing, which I'm pretty happy with. Sitting at 1.5x deficit is pretty solid in general. So that's where we're at. So my team is basically the non-negotiables that go into basically every team that I play are still Angel. She's just absolutely fantastic. The pool is just hard to pass up on. Chloe and Naya, they're my staples. The other 2 I substitute in. I normally have at least 1 healer, but sometimes I'll have 2. So sometimes I'll have these 2, and then sometimes I'll sub one of them out for Talia. And then the other options that I do bring, so like I said, Talia is one that I use in this slot. Vivian is another one that I'll bring, and I will also sometimes still bring the Nicole. The reason I bring the Nicole is that Vivian's on like a second/third intellect set, whereas I have got like legendary and like a good agility set that none of these characters use. So that's where I can sometimes get value out of the Nicole, just because the extra stats that she brings from having that set. For instance, if we look at the power here on my team, we go up by close to 3,000 power, 2,500 power, just by having the Nicole in there over something like the Jiho, who's putting us at the 150. So that's pretty much the way I've been rotating through my team. It's been working pretty well. I do see Naya eventually getting phased out as main DPS, but you know, I still think she's a solid option, and she's the best that we have at the moment. And if she does get phased out as the top pick, she's still going to be very useful in a lot of situations, and still like a great secondary option as well. So that's where we're at. So let's jump in. I'll show you sort of what we're doing here. I don't know if this team's actually going to work. We'll see how we go. Might be a bit of a an awkward one, because I just at the end of the previous day I used my last mercenary on the 5 stage on 12-5. So let's see how we go here. It's a matter of if my Chloe can survive, because Chloe often just gets dropped. So I've brought in a bit of extra sustain to this stage, which I think if everyone survives, it's going to become a game of can we... Oh, dude, that was close. I feel like with RNG, we can get that one. So yeah, we're at this stage of the game. I feel like most people will get to this stage in... Chapter 11, Chapter 12, where you're fighting a balance. It's probably throughout the whole game, actually. You're fighting a balance on bringing enough damage versus bringing enough survivability and still getting it done on time. Because the problem we have on this enemy team is we have the Ira, who's a bruiser who can heal herself, and we also have the Clara, who has the heals. And then we've got 3 big damage dealers. So we need sustain to survive these damage dealers at the start, but we also need a lot more damage to be able to bust through the enemy healing and clear it in time. So that's like the kind of pickle we fall into. I'm actually going to try it like this. It will sacrifice some attack on my my Naya, which might cost us, but I just want to test it because we did have the Angel die in the previous one, whereas Naya does get her invisibility if she gets struck. So maybe this just changes the RNG. Okay, we're getting some pretty big heat here. Can we get the stun? Good. Okay. Got the invincibility up, which is solid. Oh, dude, she's got clapped. And this is what I'm talking about. This is where we run into the struggle. Now, this is something else I'd love them to put into the game. It affects very few people except myself, but that would be in Arena, you can replay the battle once it's done. I would love to see that available in campaign as well. So for videos like this, I could like retry the game, retry the stage, and eventually just show you guys the team composition that actually worked and defeated it. But at the moment, we don't get actual replays in campaign, so which means I can't actually do that, which is one little thing that I would love to see them add into the game. I know AFK Arena does it. It makes it so much better for making content, but you know, we will work with what we've got. So let's see if we can... I don't think we'll have the damage now, especially missing a couple units. Yeah, no, there's no way we're going to get through that Clara Ira, no matter what we do. We're just going to get clapped here. We're going to get clapped by the clock or clapped by damage. Either way, it's done. Let's see. Can we get the heal off? Yes. Watch Jiho probably get absolutely shredded by this Renee. Oh, no, we lived. Can we get... Yes, okay. How long we got left? 14 seconds. There is no chance. And this is the balance we get into. All right, I'll be back. I'll see how we go. Okay, so here we go. The best way I could do it is I just recorded while I was trying so that I could show you guys what we ended up doing. So the team we ended up getting there with was this one. So let's take a look at it. So that was the team. As you can see, we ended up 152. I ended up chucking the Vivian back in and putting the Adrienne into the back row to get the extra damage, chucking the Catherine in the front, hoping she'd take some more aggro and my Angel wouldn't die. And it actually worked out pretty well. So let's jump past these and I'll show you guys the replay and see how we went. Now, I could have probably skipped past this little loading screen, but there we go. Okay, so battle start. Hopefully the quality is not too disgusting because like I said, it's like a replay of a recording. Unfortunately, that's the best we can do without just making you guys get bored listening to me talk smack, and then I get bored because I'm on like my 15th replay, not knowing if I've talked to you guys about something or not. So this is where we are. But yeah, so this one works pretty well because we get the two of the main damage dealers out of the way pretty quick. Now there is still the Renee who's going to be an issue, but once we can get that Renee out of the way, we're pretty solid because as long as we can keep that Ira below 50%, it means she's not going to be hitting us as hard. Now we do here in this situation lose out one unit fairly quick, but the rest is looking pretty set up, and it's only the Chloe that we lost, and we come so close to losing Angel here. Luckily we get an Angel into a whole team-wide sleep into the shield, and then we live that because the Ira was low, and then we go straight into the invincibility after this, which is just a pretty clutch situation. And I mean, if we try that again, you may not have got that same RNG, but hey, you take the wins when you can. And then the key thing here is just getting that Ira below 50 before she does her main skill, which we're at below 50 now, because that is what's going to allow us not to get one shot clapped by her where she gets the extra scaling, and instead she just gets the heal. So that's where we've been trying to do. And then as you can see, when she's low, Ira is not much of a threat, and that's all you need to do. And eventually we got there. So that's about that 1.5x deficit range. And as you can see, when we look at the damage here, obviously our Naya is going to be the main damage dealer. She's going to have the most. She is at level 141. She's at Legendary Plus. She has the investment. But if we look at this, you can see the Adrienne still does really, really solid amounts of damage whilst also healing and also taking a lot of damage and taking a lot of that aggro. Now, Vivian's down the bottom, but she didn't do too bad. She did get 427k damage as well, but Vivian's also there just to buff the entire team. She's a great unit, and that was the sort of balance I found. If I was using if I dropped Catherine to try and bring something like the Talia, we'd get clapped. But once again, if I dropped the Vivian for any other support hero, we weren't getting the damage done in time. So it's finding that balance, and that's where we're sort of at in the game. Hoping I can push through chapter 12 in the next couple of days. We'll see how we go. Maybe hopefully hit that 141 with all my characters and keep progressing, but I'll keep you guys updated. But that is where we're at the moment. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.